Could you deliver some medicine to the Verdigris house for me?
Sure, Dad. I'll get right on it.
Try to be careful out there. They're saying abductions are on the rise.
I know. I'll stop by the herb plot, too.
Thank you. Don't be long.
I won't.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Anime Sensei Reaction. Today we're finally starting the Apothecary Diaries Season 1, Episode 1, and I've been hearing so many good things about this anime. Right away, the setting feels different from most fantasy series because we're thrown into the Imperial Palace, filled with politics, secrets, concubines, and dangerous schemes hiding behind elegant walls. We meet Mao Mao, a sharp and knowledgeable girl who was raised in the red light district and trained in medicine and poisons by her apothecary father. After being kidnapped and sold into service at the rear palace, she tries to stay unnoticed, but things quickly change when the emperor's infants start mysteriously falling ill. Mao Mao secretly investigates the cause and catches the attention of Jin Shi, the beautiful and mysterious high-ranking eunuch. I already feel like this series is going to mix mystery, court drama, and clever deduction in a really unique way. Let's jump into episode 1.
Is that all you've got?
Please, an evening's all I'm asking.
I'm running a business here, sir, not a charity.
Wasn't that Pylene, one of the famous 3 princesses of the Verdigris house?
No gawking before paying!
It's taking too long to heal. Recipe's not right.
Oh, Mao Mao.
Hey,
What?
Heidi.
Have you been wounding yourself again?
Well, yeah. I needed something to experiment on.
You're so thin. Are you eating?
Feels to me like you're well nourished enough for the both of us.
Now, now! If I find you playing around with the combustibles near the good mahogany again, I'll box your ears. Or maybe we find another way to have you pay us back.
Your medicines, they're on the counter, Granny!
Say hello to the old man for me, or not.
Was that Mao Mao's voice I just heard? So is she here, or...?
She just took off.
Greedy old hag. Always trying to turn me into a lousy courtesan. You have got to be kidding me. Damn. Dad is gonna be pretty worried.
Mao Mao had always believed that most days in life passed quietly, without warning, without destiny announcing itself in advance. The morning that changed everything seemed no different from any other. The streets were still damp from the early mist, merchants were only beginning to raise their shutters, and the familiar scent of herbs drifted through the small home she shared with her father. He prepared medicine carefully at his work table while Mao Mao organized the ingredients beside him with practiced efficiency. Their lives had never been luxurious, but they were steady, shaped by routine and knowledge rather than wealth. Before she left, her father handed her a package of medicine that needed to be delivered to the Verdigris house. His expression, usually calm and detached, carried a trace of concern. He warned her not to wander carelessly and reminded her that kidnappings had become increasingly common in recent months. Girls disappearing from the streets was no longer unusual. Some vanished forever without anyone bothering to search for them. The world outside was growing harsher, especially for women without status or protection. Mao Mao listened, though she did not seem frightened. Growing up near the red light district had taught her early that danger existed everywhere. She had seen drunk men collapse in alleys, heard stories whispered behind closed doors, and watched desperate people sell pieces of themselves simply to survive another week. Compared to all of that, a delivery errand felt insignificant. With the medicine secured in her hands, she stepped out into the crowded district without hesitation. The Verdigris house stood proudly among the surrounding buildings, its elegance impossible to ignore. Bright decorations framed the entrance while music and laughter floated through the open windows. From the outside, it looked glamorous, almost dreamlike, but Mao Mao knew better. Places like this were built on illusion. Beneath the painted smiles and expensive fabrics hid exhaustion, loneliness, and countless sacrifices made by the women who lived there. Inside, she was greeted by Perrin, one of the establishment's most famous courtesans. Perrin possessed the kind of beauty that could stop conversations instantly. Her movements were graceful.
Worried when I don't come back.
It's a healthy baby boy. This is a proud day indeed, Lady Liyue.
Thankfully, the prince was born without issue.
I see. Wonderful. What I wouldn't give for some good meat skewers right now. Hopefully Dad's still eating properly without me around. I'm not sure if I was sold off or ransomed, but either way the result was the same. I've been stuck here 3 months now. Turns out palaces and brothels aren't that different. Given the choice, I'd take Verdigrease house over the rear palace any day. Well, lingering on it isn't gonna do any good. Life. 1 minute you're an apothecary, the next a servant. The rear palace is a garden of women cultivated to grow the Emperor's seed. Men are strictly forbidden from entering. The only people permitted access to this inner sanctum are the Emperor, his kin, and, of course, eunuchs. Males who've lost a pretty important part of their anatomy and trusted to keep the peace. Overall, there are 2,000 concubines and servants, and 1,000 eunuchs set to protect them. Sadly, unlike the high, mid, or low-ranking concubines, we serving girls are considered expendable and can lose our lives for the most trivial of infractions. We're valued less than even the low-ranking shut-ins, but at least they deign to pay us, I suppose. Mao Mao, you gotta help me! Do you know what room this is supposed to be? Oh, that'd be the token for Wisteria 9.
Her smile effortless, and her voice carried a warmth that softened even the cold atmosphere of the brothel. Men likely emptied fortunes just to spend a few moments in her presence. Yet when she looked at Mao Mao, there was no arrogance in her eyes, only genuine concern. Her attention quickly settled on the marks scattered across Mao Mao's skin. Fresh scars lined her arms and shoulders, ugly reminders of the strange experiments she constantly performed on herself. Mao Mao had long developed the dangerous habit of testing medicines, herbs, and poisons directly on her own body. Curiosity mattered more to her than pain. Some substances left temporary burns, others caused fevers or rashes, and many of the wounds healed poorly despite her attempts to treat them. Perrin sighed at the sight of them, almost exasperated by Mao Mao's recklessness. She questioned whether the girl had any intention of preserving her own body at all. Mao Mao responded casually, treating the scars as nothing more than evidence of useful research. To her, knowledge was worth discomfort. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of the house madam, whose sharp personality immediately filled the room. She scolded Mao Mao the moment she appeared, warning her not to destroy another room with dangerous mixtures or explosive reactions. The woman's irritation was mixed with familiarity, the kind that came from years of knowing someone troublesome. Then, almost teasingly, she suggested that Mao Mao herself could become a courtesan one day. The idea struck Mao Mao like a physical attack. Embarrassment flooded her face instantly. She had spent her life surrounded by courtesans, but never once imagined herself among them. Without offering a response, she hurriedly placed the medicine on a nearby table and escaped before the conversation could continue further. Seeking distance from the noisy district, Mao Mao wandered toward the forest outside town. Among herbs and wild plants, she found comfort that people rarely provided. The quiet soothed her thoughts. She crouched among the greenery, identifying medicinal roots and leaves with incredible precision. Every plant carried meaning to her.
Over there. Right! Thank you! Illiteracy's no not all that uncommon among the servants. In order to work in the rear palace, they're taught the bare essentials of etiquette. Reading and writing's a whole other story. The raise I'd get for being literate would just line the purses of my kidnappers. So I'm happy to keep that skill in my own back pocket. The job isn't without prospects. You could well become a concubine if you have assets. Freckles, flat chest. Unfortunately, there's not a great demand for the skin and bones look. Standing out around here can be its own brand of dangerous. Better to keep my head down. If I work hard, I'll be home free in 2 years. I really need a drink.
Hey, did you hear?
Huh?
They say a beautiful new unit's been posted to the central courtyard. It's practically all anyone in the Rear Palace has been talking about.
Oh.
I mean, nothing wrong with a little look to check the goods.
Am I right, Mau Mau?
A handsome eunuch, huh?
The stress is taking a toll on her health. Yes.
Poor Shaolin.
My sincerest apologies. It won't be long now. The physician is just seeing to the young prince.
I see. They're only 3 months and 6 months old, right? Yes, Princess Lingley and the prince.
Some could heal fevers, others could numb pain, and some were deadly enough to stop a heart within minutes. For a brief time, the world felt peaceful again. Then the peace shattered. 3 men emerged suddenly from the trees. Their appearance alone made their intentions obvious. Mau Mau reacted too slowly. Hands grabbed her arms before she could escape. There was no dramatic rescue, no miraculous trick that allowed her to break free. She struggled, but the outcome had already been decided the moment they chose her. As their target, the forest swallowed her cries while the men dragged her away. From that instant onward, her old life disappeared. Months passed before Mau Mau fully understood where she had ended up. By then, she was no longer a free girl wandering through herb fields. She had become a servant within the imperial palace itself, specifically the rear palace where the emperor's consorts resided. The transition felt surreal. One moment she had been gathering plants in the forest, and the next she existed within walls so massive and isolated that the outside world felt distant and unreal. She still did not know exactly how she had arrived there. Perhaps she had been sold directly after her kidnapping. Perhaps someone had used her as a replacement to fill servant quotas. In the end, the reason hardly mattered. She had become another nameless girl swallowed by a system far larger than herself. Yet as Mau Mau observed her surroundings, she noticed uncomfortable similarities between the palace and the red light district she once knew so well. Both were places where women's lives revolved around power held by others. Both valued beauty above individuality. Both rewarded obedience while quietly crushing those who stood out too much. The decorations differed, but the structure beneath them remained painfully familiar. The rear palace functioned like an isolated city hidden behind imperial walls. Nearly 2,000 women lived there, alongside countless servants and eunuchs. The emperor's children were born and raised within these grounds, making the area one of immense political importance. Ordinary men were forbidden from entering entirely. Only the emperor himself
Aren't even out of swaddling clothes yet. You don't think this curse stuff is real, do you?
What are you talking about?
Don't you hear anything, Mau Mau? The entire palace is buzzing with rumors of hexes and dark sorceries. Because of all the heirs that have been dying in the rear palace. Each one of the emperor's previous 3 children grew frail and died not long after they were born. Doesn't that seem a little weird?
All 3?
Yeah, and it looks like it's happening again.
The newborns are unwell?
That's right. With the prince and princess both ill, the royal physician's been running back and forth between Lady Gyokyo and Lady Liwa. If I'm not mistaken, since the emperor didn't yet have one, that makes Lady Lihua Mother of the Air Empress Consort!
Well, yeah, that's only logical. Since there's no pre-established Empress Consort and concubine Lihua gave birth to a prince, her position is assured.
Maybe so, but rumor has it that the Emperor's favor lies firmly with Lady Gyokyo, which allegedly is somehow connected to all of this curse business.
A hierarchical power struggle, huh?
Lady Lihua must be suffering the worst of the afflictions. The court physician seems to be attending her the most.
Lady Lihua's sick also?
Yeah, mother and child both had the same thing, stomach and headaches, apparently with pretty bad nausea in the mix as well.
Stomach ache, headache, and nausea.
I'm telling you, this curse is gonna doom us all!
The only thing that'll doom us is gullibility.
What?
So headache, stomachache, and nausea. Poison would fit with the whole power struggle thing. Although if it's political, why would they bother going after the princess too? Her getting ill only serves to raise suspicion. Perhaps a straightforward malady then. Could it be something hereditary? Get it together. You're taking these rumors way too seriously. It's just a bunch of overexcited conjecture from bored serving girls. But that said, it wouldn't hurt to take a little bitty peek, would it?
Certain relatives and eunuchs were permitted access. Despite its wealth and grandeur, the palace carried an oppressive atmosphere. Rules controlled nearly every aspect of daily life. Status determined how people spoke, walked, and even breathed around one another. A single mistake could destroy someone completely. Many of the servant girls came from poor backgrounds and lacked even basic education. They were trained extensively in etiquette before entering palace service, learning how to bow correctly and speak with proper humility, but literacy was often considered unnecessary. One afternoon, a cheerful young maid named Xiaolan approached Ma Mao in confusion while holding a wooden name tag. She could not read the writing on it and had no idea where it belonged. Watching Xiaolan struggle reminded Ma Mao how unusual her own education truly was. Literacy alone separated her from most servants around her. Still, she kept that ability hidden whenever possible. Any advantage she gained would likely benefit the people controlling her employment rather than herself. Besides, standing out in the palace rarely ended well. There were stories of maids who rose through the ranks and eventually became low-ranking consorts. But those transformations belonged to exceptionally beautiful women capable of attracting imperial attention. Ma Mao had no illusions about herself. Her freckles, plain appearance, and indifferent demeanor ensured she remained invisible. To her, that invisibility was comforting. Beauty attracted scrutiny, jealousy, and danger. Remaining ordinary meant surviving quietly until an opportunity to leave finally appeared. Around this time, gossip began spreading rapidly among the servants. The topic dominating every conversation was a certain eunuch whose appearance had captivated nearly everyone in the palace. Xiaolan excitedly described him to Ma Mao in great detail, emphasizing his elegance and unnatural beauty. According to rumors, women lost the ability to speak properly simply by standing near him. Ma Mao found the obsession ridiculous. She cared little about handsome faces or romantic fantasies.
Talk about opulence. Ladies of high ranking like their pillars smeared redder than red and their roof tiles yellowed enough to make the sun jealous.
You're the cause of this! Lady Gyokyo! You have cursed my son, and for what? Because you could only give birth to a daughter? That is preposterous! Do you really think I would do that? My sweet Xiaoling is suffering from this as well, you know!
I've never seen Lady Lihua so furious.
But to take it out on Lady Gyokyo...
Master Jinshi.
If you don't believe me, you're welcome to examine my daughter yourself!
I'm not sure that would... well,
That bumbling old eunuch in the middle is the palace physician? That quack's a bill short of a duck. He seriously still hasn't noticed? After all the time he spent with the concubines? Or could it be that he just plain doesn't know? Infant mortality preceded by headaches, stomach aches, and nausea, as well as the exhaustion Lady Lihua's exhibiting. The cause is obvious, and it sure as hell isn't a curse. But how do I clue them in? If only I could find something to write with.
you.
It was barely a month before the sorry news spread around the palace. The infant prince had finally succumbed.
Odd as this is,
Compared to medicinal formulas and toxic substances, palace gossip seemed unbearably dull. But another matter soon caught her attention, one impossible to ignore. Several of the emperor's children had died shortly after birth. 3 infants lost in succession had cast a shadow of fear throughout the palace. Now only 2 remained alive. A young princess born to consort Gyokuyu and a prince born to consort Lehua. Because the imperial bloodline depended on them, physicians closely monitored both mothers and children. The political implications surrounding these births were immense. No official empress currently existed, meaning either consort could potentially rise to that position. Lehua possessed a major advantage because she had given birth to a son, yet rumors claimed the emperor favored Gyokuyu more deeply despite her daughter. At first glance, the situation resembled ordinary palace rivalry. But Mao Mao noticed details others overlooked. Both consorts reportedly suffered from identical symptoms: persistent headaches, stomach pain, nausea, and physical weakness. That pattern bothered her immediately. If someone intended to target only one child, or mother, why would the illnesses appear so similar? The more she considered the situation, the more convinced she became that something else was happening. Her curiosity refused to let the matter rest. Quietly, she began paying closer attention to conversations among servants and physicians. During one particularly tense day, chaos erupted in a central courtyard when Lehua openly accused Gyokuyu of cursing her son. Emotions spiraled quickly. Lehua believed jealousy over producing only a daughter had driven Gyokuyu toward malice. The argument intensified until violence nearly broke out. Yet Mao Mao noticed something important during the confrontation. Gyokuyu herself appeared genuinely terrified for her own child's health. Her concern did not seem staged or manipulative. More importantly, the physician responsible for caring for both women remained unable to identify the illness affecting them. To Mao Mao, that failure was deeply suspicious. Based on
I'm sure you have questions.
Just one.
The day I visited the Crystal Pavilion and ran afoul of Lady Lihua's understandable grief, I returned to find that note on my windowsill. It was tied to this flower.
Rhododendrons infer warning.
The child is in danger. The white face powder is poison. Ignorance is truly a sin.
The palace physician would not employ quite so indirect an approach to alert you.
Agreed. And his treatment of the prince belies any actual awareness.
Then if not him, who was it that sent this?
I'd like for you to uncover that very thing.
Thinking back, I do recall.
If only I could find something to write with.
I'd be happy to. Until then, would you mind if I hung on to this?
I heard the Emperor's been visiting Lady Gyokyo a lot recently, as a way of showing his love for the surviving princess.
And how's Lady Lihua doing?
What makes you think I know anything about that?
Your trivia's oddly selective.
Finally, there you are. You need to report in with the matron of the serving women, immediately.
Huh?
She's being summoned?
What do you think that's about?
All right, now that everyone's here, if you could all please head inside, we can get this underway.
Serving girls getting summoned by high officials is never good. Could this be punitive? Or just a new work detail?
I would like to thank you all for coming on such short notice.
And who's the arrogant-looking woman supposed to be?
I am Jinshi, the manager of the Rear Palace.
On the symptoms alone, she rejected the idea of curses entirely. Superstition often blinded people to obvious explanations. In her experience, most so-called curses were simply poison, disease, or human ignorance disguised as something mystical. As she walked away lost in thought, she briefly noticed a beautiful eunuch passing nearby. For a moment, his gaze seemed fixed on her. The servants surrounding him whispered excitedly, confirming this must be the famous individual everyone had discussed. Mao Mao ignored him and continued thinking. Eventually, her suspicions solidified into a conclusion. She devised a simple but risky plan. Without revealing her identity, she wrote a warning message and concealed it within a flower branch near the residences of both consorts. The note warned them that the white powder being used around the infants was poisonous and should never be allowed near the children. The white powder in question was commonly used as cosmetic makeup, especially among courtesans and noblewomen seeking pale complexions. However, prolonged exposure carried deadly consequences. Mao Mao knew this because she had witnessed countless women in the red light district suffer from its effects over time. Gyokuyu accepted the warning seriously. Lahua did not. Time moved forward with cruel inevitability. Despite all efforts, tragedy struck soon afterward. Liwa's son died, leaving grief and devastation throughout the palace. Rumors spread like wildfire, blame passed between factions, and sorrow transformed into fear. Mao Mao remained silent. She understood exactly what had happened, yet speaking openly would only place herself in danger. Roughly a month later, the beautiful eunuch visited Gyokuyu personally. During their conversation, she showed him the warning message hidden earlier among the flowers. She explained that whoever wrote it had likely saved her daughter's life. Curious about the unknown servant clever enough to uncover the truth, he agreed to investigate. The next day, every maid was summoned. Mao Mao joined the gathering with growing suspicion. When the eunuch finally appeared, the atmosphere changed instantly.
Wait, that's a man? Oh yeah, Xiaolan was going on about a beautiful-looking eunuch a while back. I guess that must be him. Yeesh, what a waste. Grade A quality genes and no way of proliferating them. Huh? You with the freckles stay here? Crap!
Thank you all so much for your time. You may return to your rooms.
What was that about?
Why me? Did I step out of line somehow, or... Wait, is this because of the warning? Of course! I'm the only one of the serving girls here who can actually read! That message was a trap designed to single me out! I've really gotta go!
Now, miss. Didn't you read? I told you to stay. Keep quiet and follow me.
It was a trap.
I must admit, this is perplexing. When I had looked up your record, it claimed you were illiterate.
Yes, well, I am but of lowly birth. It must be some kind of mistake.
Good luck getting me to confess. Feigning ignorance keeps things uncomplicated, just the way I like it. Speaking of complications, how did this guy even find me out? I made absolutely certain nobody saw me leave those notes. Doesn't he have anything better to do than this? I mean, it's not like he has a palace to run. Please, this way.
Thank you.
I wonder what my punishment will be. I hope I at least make it out of here alive.
I've brought her, as requested.
Come in.
Sorry to drag you all the way up here.
That's good.
So it was you. For saving the life of my precious Lingli.
Excited whispers spread through the crowd while countless maids blushed at the sight of him. His beauty truly was extraordinary, enough that Mao Mao briefly wondered whether he might secretly be a woman disguised in male clothing. Then he introduced himself. His name was Jin Shi, the overseer of the Rear Palace. The revelation surprised her slightly. Even among eunuchs, his appearance felt almost unreal. Jinshi held up a written note and calmly announced that the freckled maid should remain behind after everyone else departed. The moment Mao Mao read the characters, she realized her mistake immediately. Her reaction exposed her before she could stop herself. One by one, the other maids left until she stood alone. For a brief second, she considered fleeing. But logic quickly killed the idea. The problem was obvious now. She had revealed literacy in a place where very few servant girls could read. That single ability had narrowed Jinshi's search dramatically. When he approached her, Mao Mao instinctively brushed his hand away before he could touch her. Unlike the other women in the palace, she showed no fascination toward him whatsoever. Her calm indifference intrigued him almost instantly. As Jinshi escorted her through the palace corridors, Mao Mao's thoughts raced. She had been extremely cautious when delivering the warning. Yet he had still uncovered her identity through careful observation and resources she had underestimated. The realization reminded her how dangerous influential people could be when motivated by curiosity. Eventually they arrived at Gyokuyu's residence. Inside, Mao Mao saw the princess alive and healthy. Relief settled quietly in her chest. Despite her detached personality, she had genuinely wanted the child to survive. Gyokuyu greeted her warmly and thanked her sincerely for saving her daughter's life. Mao Mao immediately attempted to deny involvement, hoping to avoid further attention. But Jinshi calmly produced the torn cloth containing the message. He explained that the fabric matched the uniform worn by a specific servant group and that the missing piece had come directly from Mao Mao's skirt hem. The evidence was impossible.
Him in your debt. Please, my lady, I fear your gratitude is far too generously given.
I won't hear of it. Who could be more deserving than my child savior? I can never thank you enough for what you've done for us.
Forgive my impudence, but maybe you have the wrong person? Perhaps there's been a misunderstanding. I don't want to get beheaded for lying, but I don't want to get wrapped up in all this crazy court stuff either.
Concubine Gyokyo was kind enough to let me hold on to the note she found. Are you aware that this particular fabric is used in the serving girl's clothing?
Well, I suppose it does look familiar.
Yes, I am quite certain any of the palace girls would recognize it. Especially one like yourself who works amongst the laundry. Tell me true, did you tear apart a skirt for want of good paper?
I can't believe you reasoned that out already.
Now that we've established it was you, would you care to explain why you put that flower on the window?
I placed it there that day because I deduced the cause of the illness. It was the white makeup powder. In the brothels I grew up around, there were many courtesans who used the same high-end powder to lighten their skin. It poisoned them slowly, draining away all of their vital spark little by little, until there was nothing left. They traded the fullness of their lives for a fleeting moment of beauty, and lost everything in the bargain. Before this, I was an apothecary. I'm familiar with poisons.
Then that's the powder.
It was used by the baby's nurse as daily ritual. She claimed it had a better whitening effect compared to similar popular cosmetics.
To dispute. Realizing resistance was pointless, Mao Mao finally explained everything. She described how the white cosmetic powder contained toxic substances harmful to both mothers and infants after prolonged exposure. Women in the red light district often suffered severe consequences from constant use, making the symptoms painfully recognizable to someone with her background. She also revealed that she had been raised by an apothecary and possessed extensive knowledge regarding medicine and poisons. Gyokuyu listened carefully before confirming that she had indeed attempted to warn Lahua after receiving the anonymous note. Unfortunately, her warning had been dismissed too late to prevent disaster. The conversation changed something within the room's atmosphere. What began as an investigation slowly transformed into recognition. Mao Mao was no longer just another nameless servant hidden among thousands. Her intelligence had exposed a truth Palace physicians failed to uncover. Jinshi observed her closely throughout the discussion, clearly fascinated by the strange girl who remained completely unmoved by his charm while casually discussing toxins and death with clinical precision. Most people within the palace either feared him or adored him instantly. Ma Mao did neither. She treated him almost like an inconvenience. Rather than punishing her for interfering, Gyokuyu made a surprising decision. Recognizing both her intelligence and usefulness, she appointed Ma Mao as her personal attendant. With a single declaration, Mao Mao's position inside the palace changed entirely. The kidnapped girl who once expected nothing more than quiet survival suddenly found herself pulled closer to the heart of imperial politics. No longer hidden among ordinary servants, she now stood beside one of the emperor's favored consorts, surrounded by schemes, rivalries, and dangers far greater than anything she had known before. And somewhere within those enormous palace walls, Jinshi continued watching her with growing curiosity, as though he had just discovered something far more interesting than another obedient servant. For Ma Mao, the peaceful anonymity she once valued so deeply had already begun slipping away.
She fell ill not long after Ling Li, so I permitted her some time to rest. All fully compensated, of course.
Kind of you.
Ignorance is truly a sin. As a mother, I should have paid more attention to what my child was eating.
That sin is mine, too. Had I only been more aware of the things around me, a needless loss of life could have been avoided. The poor prince.
After I saw the message, I went to tell concubine Li Hua of its troubling contents. But it seemed like everything I said only served to make her believe me less.
So then, now that you know the truth, what do you intend to do with me?
Well, starting today, you're going to be my new lady-in-waiting.
Huh?
There are some qualities Mao Mao just can't mute. Curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and a sometimes troublesome need to right that which is wrong.
Not good, 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 not good. There you are! Welcome back to Mao! Profile now. So, you gonna tell me what happened?
And so, Mao Mao became a lady-in-waiting of concubine Gyokyo, the Emperor's most cherished love, an unprecedented elevation in rank for one so young.
Hey! Poison!
Next time, Chili Apothecary.
Alright, everyone, that is for today's reaction on Anime Sensei Reaction. Thank you for so much for watching and spending your time with me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification so you won't miss the next reaction. Let me know your true favorite moment and break it down in the comment, because I always love reading what you guys think. We still have a lot of amazing anime moments, crazy battle, emotional scene, and unexpected treat coming soon on the channel. I truly appreciate all the support, and I can't wait to watch more anime together with you all. Take care everyone, and I will see you in the next reaction video.